Flavor every Tuesday.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Southwest Flavor. I'm your host, Ron Arenas. Happy Thursday to everyone. We've got a great show for you today, and our first guest is Ron Kirk of Arcadia Landscaping. Welcome, Ron. How you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me.
Good. So thank you for coming on. I know we planned this a while back, and
Yes.
it was good.
Yeah, we have. It's been a while.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business.
My name is Ron Kirk. I retired from the Arizona Department of Corrections. I was a sergeant. After retirement,
So you're over at Wilmot, right?
Well, I traveled around. I worked Wilmot. I've worked Florence.
Wow.
I've worked death row very briefly.
Wow, okay.
So I've worked with minors, kids under the age of 18.
Right.
And I did my time, and I decided to open up my first landscape company, which was called Swirl Desert Landscaping. I ran that out of my house, out of my garage, drove my wife crazy. So I started with just me and a truck and a trailer. And I kind of progressed that up to having like 5 or 6 employees. I had 2 trucks. I had 2 trailers.
Right.
Then my wife, I wanted to grow it.
Yeah. But you outgrew your house, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did. Well, in a manner of speaking, I did. But I wasn't really looking at going big. I wanted to kind of stay in that medium range.
Okay.
So I went ahead and we accidentally came across Arcadia Landscape that was for sale.
Okay.
So my wife and I acquired it. We looked into it, and here we are now. We're the owners now. We've owned them almost 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah, and Arcadia's been around since 1983.
Wow.
We are one of the longest landscape companies in Tucson, and we are one of the few now that's family owned and operated.
Right.
And
I love that.
Yeah, family owned and operated. Yourself, you're family owned, operated. Family Air, same way.
Yeah.
So we try to stay with family owned companies because family owned companies is what makes our town.
Sure. Exactly.
Family owns will put it back into their town. They will do like the Christmas parade of lights. We donate to the Ron McDonald Walk for kids.
Right.
I'm with the Red Sleigh Toy Run.
Right. I was telling you that one of my friends is with that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started that with Chaplain Steve Young. He worked at the prison as well.
Oh, okay. And my friend is over at the prison too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's the maintenance guy I was telling you about.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. He's a gray shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great shirt.
So Chaplain Young had this idea of, going and getting presents for kids that families can't afford Christmas for their child.
Right.
And he started off, I think it was like 4, 5, 6 motorcycles, and he had a sleigh that the prison built, and he pulled it with his motorcycle. And as time has gone on, this thing has grown so massively that it's just taken off.
Right.
This coming December will be my 20-year mark.
Oh, wow.
That I've been doing it.
Yeah. I've seen you guys go through town. It's been a couple years, but I've seen you guys go through town.
Yeah, my son, he used to ride with me on the back, and because he loves to give back to his community. That's just one thing. My family, all of us are, and so I've been continually doing it. Now my son now is 23. He works for the company, and he now has his motorcycle. Mom does not like that too much, and so now he, for the first or second time, I believe it was his first time, he got to ride on his own motorcycle, and he got to do it, which made me a very proud papa.
Sure. Yeah. What I always say about the family-owned businesses, the small businesses, is we're the people that are, we're in the grocery stores with you, we're in the churches with you, we're at the little restaurants with you, we sponsor your kids, baseball team or soccer team or whatever, we're invested in the community.
And I agree with that 100%. What I have found is corporate companies are there for one thing, and they're there to put money in their pocket.
Sure.
I'm not saying all corporate companies don't give back to certain communities. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that they don't.
Right.
But most of them do not. They're there to see how much money they can make so they can go out here and they can buy themselves another company.
Right. Well, And also, I mean, their accounting department or whatever, or marketing department, or all the different departments, they're in a different state. They're in Kansas, or they're in New York, or they're in Florida. So Tucson is just, store number 3,000, and how much profit is that store making? They're
Yes.
not invested usually into that community.
Yes. So what's happening is corporate is moving in, and in order for you to own a business in the state of Arizona, you have to be a resident of Arizona.
Mm.
So with that being said, they are coming in and they're buying out a company, and then they're turning right around and they're hiring somebody that is a resident from Arizona. They're making them sign all this paperwork stating that they are the owner.
Hmm.
But if you actually call them out on it, they're saying, oh, we're partnered with them.
Okay.
And so if that person that really didn't even buy the company, and now he's liable.
Yeah,
for
that's a scary thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you're waving a lot of money in front of somebody's face as a salary, I mean, a lot of people are all about the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever it takes to have their livelihood that they have.
Right.
So what I try to tell people is, if you're going to hire somebody, investigate it, look into it,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not going to see a corporate company come out here and do and give to a foundation. You're not going to see them. A lot of them go to, the Ron McDonald Walk for Kids.
Sure.
You're not going to see them, but you will see a lot of the family owned.
Yeah.
That's what you'll find.
Yeah, exactly. So what are some of the services that your company does?
So we do a lot. We do not do residential maintenance.
Okay.
But we will do residential, like when it comes to backyard makeovers, front yard makeovers. If you have a tree that needs to be trimmed, if you need irrigation repairs or a new replacement.
Okay.
We do water features. They built a pond for me at my house. They wanted to do it, and I said, build up my house and let's see where it goes.
Okay.
We do block walls. We do pavers. We do flagstone. We do pretty much everything you can think of. My company right now, for example, we're the landscape company now that is working on the Reed Park Zoo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's called Out of Asia. So we're working on that. At the time, there was 3 phases of Reed Park Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
There was a parking lot, and then there was World of Play, and then now Out of Asia. The World of Play is a playground for kids. And we came in and we did all the landscaping there. We planted the bamboo, the pine trees. We did all the things. And then the contractor, he subcontracts other things like painting and plumbing and so forth. We have done a lot of the parks here in Tucson. Fort Lauderdale Park, that's one of them.
Oh, okay.
And we went in there and helped revamp that as well. We have done a lot of big projects. We've done some work for the U of A. Which we're very proud of.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't go Cats, right?
Yeah,
go
that's
Cats.
right.
So who wouldn't want to do some work and have that saying, hey, we did that.
Right.
So we do a lot. I mean, you name it, really. I could sit here all day and tell you the things that we do. When I first took over, Arcadia didn't do the things that we're doing now. We weren't doing the big projects like Reed Park Zoo and all the Tucson parks.
Right.
They weren't doing big projects like that. And my son, when he came in, he took over the construction division. Well, the construction division wasn't doing that well. And he has literally taken that construction division and literally took it to the next level. So he's done very well. And for somebody that's 23 years of age to go ahead and take a construction division and do something like that, it takes a lot of work.
Oh,
and he's done a great job for us.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
That's really good. Yeah, I love, you mentioned about backyard, the backyards and the front yards and everything and the water features. I mean, you can do flagstone, you can do ponds, and you can probably do little other water features like waterfalls and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, basically anything that you need done, like I said, we can do it. Irrigation, tree planting, palm tree trimming, winter flowers, summer flowers, hydro seeding. God, the list goes on and on. Winter rye. I mean, we basically do everything that you can think of.
Okay. Well, what about like the gas features, like the?
We don't deal with the gas because
Okay.
in order to do anything with gas, you have to have a separate RLC number
Okay.
to do that. So we don't really like to get into that. We will have to subcontract that out when it comes to
Okay.
things like that. We do low voltage lighting.
Okay.
We don't really deal with coming in there and moving your electrical box from over here to over here.
Right.
Because that, again, takes another type of licensing.
Right. So you could put the whole project together and then hire another licensed contractor to do that part of it. Yeah.
Yes. That way, it just keeps us in the good graces of the register contractors.
Sure. You're within your limits of in the scope of your license.
I am. Yes. And that's what I have now found in the whole time I've been doing landscape. Now I've been doing landscaping for 30 plus years. And I enjoy it because I like to watch things grow.
Yeah.
I think my wife told me one time I should have been a woman. Because I like to go out there in my yard. I'll plant flowers and and I'll change soils out. And I just like to watch things grow. Something will pop in my pot and I don't know what it is. I'm like, let me add water to it. Let me just see what this is.
Right.
You just never know.
Yeah.
So, but you were talking about the RLC. I am finding as I'm going down the road that there are people out there that are not RLC.
Sure.
They have no number.
Right. They haven't been licensed. They don't have the insurance. They don't have the bonds. They haven't gone through all the procedures that you're supposed to.
That is correct.
Right.
So the ROC has set guidelines for people, and if you want to go out here and do certain types of work.
Right. And just to clarify, the ROC is the Arizona Register of Contractors.
That is correct.
Yes. So that's our governing body as a contractor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you get your license and you have certain you have certain titles that will allow you to do certain things. Like for us, ours is a CR21 and our number is 331447. So anytime you do any work or advertise, you must have your number on your business cards. You got to have it on your trucks. You got to have it on your invoicing. You got to have it on your proposals.
Right.
You got to have that on there. And what that does is it protects the customer from anything that may happen onto their property.
Right.
You're finding a lot of these people that don't have no name on the side of their trucks. They have no number. They have no uniforms. And most of the time, the reason they don't have those is because they do not want to be found.
Yeah.
You also have these individuals that are hired 2 or 3 of these people to go out, their employees, if that's what you want to call them. They're not paying no workman's comp. They're not paying no unemployment insurance. And if something happens to that employee, say he falls and trips and hurts his ankle, well, guess what? This individual is not going to pay that medical bill. A lot of them also, too, will have burner phones to where if they break a window, and they say they're going to fix it and they leave. Well, if that customer tries to call them, all they do is take that burner phone and they'll just throw it in the trash, break it, throw it in the trash, and they'll go get another burner phone and they'll have a new number so where you can't find them.
Yeah.
So
we've run into that too, where someone either does a repair or an installation, and then they call us and they're like, "Hey, this brand new unit isn't working right," or "We just had this unit fixed, it's not working right," and we go out there and we're like, "Well, why didn't you just had this installed or whatever? Why don't you have the people that installed it come back? They're liable for it for at least a year." And they're like, either, "Oh, I don't want those people back on my property," or "I can't find them." Those are usually the 2 answers that we get.
That's where you know what, and we get the same type of answers. But when you try to explain to a customer, this is why we have an ROC, they have it in their mind that we're giving them a sales pitch. We're not giving them a sales pitch. We have a bond, which is part of the ROC. That bond is to protect that customer. So that way, if somebody calls and they complain and they file a complaint with the registered contractors, they can actually file for a bond, and that bond will go ahead and potentially take care of whatever is broken or a fractured window, whatever the case may be.
Right.
That's what that bond is there for. It's there to protect the customer.
Right.
But people in this day and age don't care about that. All they care about is how cheap can I get this done? You can't come in here with a beer budget and have a champagne taste and expect to have a Mona Lisa done, and you're not willing to pay for it. We
That's
try
true.
to give a good quality job, but you can't sit here and try to negotiate prices, because it's like you walking into Best Buy and you see a 75-inch TV sitting on the wall, and that TV's $800. Are you going to walk up to that sales guy at the counter and go, "Hey, you want $800 for it, but I'll give you $450"?
Right.
They're going to laugh you right out of the store. So
Yeah.
why do you think it's okay for you to negotiate with a landscape company or air conditioning company or a plumbing company? We have bills to pay too, and the ROC is one of them.
Yeah.
And, we also have a spray license, where we're allowed to go out here and spray for weeds, which is post-emergent and pre-emergent. You'll see people all the time out there, especially on the weekends, where they're out there spraying, and they don't have the licensing. And the reason they're out there spraying on the weekends is because they know the Arizona Agriculture Department is not going to be around on the weekends to go out here and catch them. So it really gets under my skin, because I have worked hard, and you yourself have worked hard to get your licensing, to do the right thing and be legal.
Right.
So if the ROC is not going to enforce the rules, then why do we have an ROC? Because we as the ROC members, we're the one that puts that money in that paycheck in your pocket.
That's true. That's true. Let's hold on for just a moment. Let's take a quick sponsor break. All right, we are back. You're watching Southwest Flavor, and our guest is Ron Kirk from Arcadia Landscaping. So we were talking a little bit about the spraying for weeds.
Yes.
Tell us why it's so important to be licensed, because, my view is, you're putting chemicals together. And so, to be licensed, you have to you're supposed to know what you're doing, right?
Yes, that is correct. The agriculture department they want to know what's going into the ground. Because if you put too much of a certain chemical in the ground, it can leach into the water table.
Sure.
They also want to make sure that you're not putting the wrong chemical on the ground, because there are some chemicals out there that's not meant for around ponds. In order
water sources or something. Yeah.
And the reason is because in order for you to spray around ponds, you have to have an aquatic license.
Okay.
To do that. So we don't have an aquatics license. So it's important to know that when you're having somebody spray weeds and they're done, the agriculture law states that when they're done, you have to have a report from that individual that says, this is a chemical, this is how much we put on the ground, this was a wind speed, this was a temperature.
Oh, wow.
And we have to have all that data, and then we have to give that to the customer, and that also gets reported to the Arizona Agriculture Department.
Wow. Okay.
So we have a post-emergent and a pre-emergent. The difference in those is a post-emergent goes out and we kill the weeds.
Right.
Okay. We don't like to kill weeds that are 4 or 5 inches with a spray, because it makes your property look like, it doesn't look good.
Sure.
Because
you just have a bunch of dead things. Yeah.
Right. But when they're real little and you spray them, you don't really see them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it blends in with the DG, or what they call rock. The pre-emergent is what goes in and it sterilizes the weed seeds to prevent the weed from germinating.
Right.
Now, a lot of people have the idea, not concept, but they have the idea that if you come out and spray a pre-emergent on my property, well, that's going to be a cure-all and I'll never have a weed again. The agriculture department tells us that we're only allowed to put pre-emergent on a property every 6 months. Because they don't want too much of it on there to leach into the water table.
Sure.
So if you want a pre-emergent service and you're out there tired of doing the weeds, then you need to have us come out, do 3 or 4 or 5 services. And over time, what you're going to find is you'll see maybe a weed over here. You may see a weed over here. But you're not going to have the weed problem that you normally would have.
You're not going to have that jungle of weeds.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're looking for maintenance, sign up for the pre-emergent service, because if your property is what we call an overabundance of weeds or blown out with weeds, the company can't go out and spend 4 or 5 hours to go ahead and clean up these weeds. We've got to do a pre-emergent service. So pay for that pre-emergent service every 6 months, and then you will have a lot less work that you have to do at your property.
Right.
Let us do the work for you while you sit home and relax and watch the football game.
Right. Yeah, because those seeds are in the ground no matter what.
Yes, birds fly over, they drop them. The wind blows and carries them from trees and other people's properties. That's why.
Your current weeds have seeds in them.
They do,
and they drop them and everything.
And if you don't keep your yard clean, then you're gonna have snakes. That's the other thing we do. Is my company has an emergency snake removal that we're on call 24/7. We're the only landscape company in town that has a license to remove snakes off of your property.
Yeah, let's talk about that because you're contracted with the city of Tucson, right?
I am contracted with the city of Tucson. I do have a license through Arizona Game and Fish. I do get called out to remove rattlesnakes. Or any type of reptile. I was honored to got to remove a Gila monster.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, my son saw one on a job this week sometime. I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Which you don't see a lot of Gila monsters.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And that's our mascot. Matter of fact, to bring that up, our mascot's a Gila monster. We have him on the side of all of our trucks and our invoices and everything else. But if you keep up on your property and you take care of your property and get the trees up off the ground, get your bushes up off the ground, keep the litter off your ground, you're going to prevent from you having snakes.
Yeah.
If you have prickly pear, you're going to have pack rats.
Yes.
Pack rats will destroy your property. But what that also draws in is your rattlesnakes as well, because now that's food for them.
Right. Exactly. They smell them.
They do.
Yep.
So keep up on your property, and you will have a lot less chance of seeing a reptile on your property. Not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, it's a lot less chance.
Sure. Exactly. And pack rats are, like you said, they're horrible for you. They destroy your air conditioners and your cars and pretty much everything.
Yeah, they do, because they just go in there because they're trying to build a nest. And pack rats will go into a prickly pear because when they have the babies will eat on the prickly pear as food, and it also keeps them out of the sun. It keeps them out of the elements. It keeps them away from predators. So clean it up. If you don't want to do it, then call us.
Right. Well, let's take a quick. Let's see. I'm looking at the time, but I'm thinking about our next guest coming on. Let's go on for a couple more minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, how did you get into the reptile capturing?
So I was born and raised in East Texas. Go Longhorns. And I worked for a gentleman when I was probably, I want to say 17, 18 years old. And it was Wright's Lawn Care. Well, Mr. Wright used to do snake removal, and then he asked me if I wanted to do it, and I love reptiles. So he taught and trained me how to do it. Well, when I got to Arizona, I wanted to find something I can do that other landscape companies are not doing. I said, what can I provide my customers, and what can I provide the city of Tucson that no other landscape company is doing?
Right.
So I went to Arizona Game and Fish. I talked to them, and they made me fill out a whole bio about myself and the training that I had and all kinds of stuff. And so I did that. And we got the contract with the city of Tucson this past June of 25. And between June of 25 to around late October, I removed close to over 200 rattlesnakes.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of rattlesnakes.
Well, I've also removed gopher snakes too.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to remove one at a restaurant, and it went into the drainage pipe. And when I pulled it out, it was roughly about 14 feet long.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I stretched it. I'm 5'11". I've shrunk since then. I'm 5'11", and when I raised it up over my head, the body